Good evening, folks. This is Diamond with the Oppenheimer Ranch Project, bringing you a grand solar minimum update on Saturday, December 16th at 7:27 p.m. Mountain Time, 2017. Thomas Fire grows to the third largest in history of California. New evacuations are ordered. The Thomas Fire in California is burning for the 13th day in a row and has now grown to 259,000 acres, making it the third largest wildfire in the history of California. As of December 16th, only 40% is contained. One firefighter has lost his life. Heads up. The fire's growing, still barely contained. Now, you're going to find a lot of articles popping up. Climate change is increasing forest fires, and the cost will be huge, like this one coming out of Futurism. Also, climate change, global warming, increasing the number of fires. And then you can just read these articles. This year is poised to be remembered as one of the worst years on record for the severity of its wildfires. This statement is in gray here because it's totally a lie, and they grayed it out ahead of time because they knew I was going to be making this video. Now, if you look in some of these papers, they're going to show you graphs like this. Hotter years, more fires, because we're all burning up. It's global warming. And you'll notice they start in around 1980. They also put the little blue graph that's increasing in the back here that they don't tell you what it is. It must be hotter years. Every year has been hotter again and again. We're burning up. Large fires are becoming more common in the West. Whoop. You'll see this nice curve here from the U.S. Forest Service. Global warming clearly is kicking into high notch. But they fail to tell you that the facts are present all over the world. And it's called data, and you can't get rid of it. So all you have to do is start a graph down here sometime before 1990 or 1980 or even 1970, and the fires are increasing, folks. But don't you feel stupid knowing that they were 20 times worse in the 1930s? 20 times worse than they are this year. 50 times worse during this entire decade. Yet this year is poised to be remembered. You mean reported on, not remembered. Because when I saw this graph, I remembered when prior to 1954, every year had more fires than any of the present years. And if we combine all the fires since 1958, it doesn't equal one of these decades. So who's pulling the wool over whose eyes? And you know why the most fires burned from 1944 to 1928, folks? Because it was the warmest time on modern history. Right here, from 1922 to 1950 was the warmest time on Earth in modern history in North America. Because this is the unadjusted, unadulterated temperature data. So, around 1940, you would expect fires to peak. Yes. Okay, wow. So when it's the most days over 95 degrees, the most forests burn. So we mustn't even be close to the most days over 95 degrees in North America. Not even close. It's not even that hot compared to 1934 and 33 and 32. When will they stop lying? Please just do some research. This is coming from the Canadian Forest Fire Count. Area burned from 1989 to 2015. Notice I love that they put the carbon dioxide on here because it has nothing to do with forest fires. But you can see the linear trend here decreasing. Canadian forest fires in hectares and total count. That is data. This is facts. This is nonsense. Let's get back to the truth. Friday snowfall breaks daily record. Streets remain icy as full city plow continues in Spokane, Washington. And you guys are about to get pummeled by the first blizzard of the century next week. That's a heads up. Boom! And we'll be talking about that shortly. Joe Phipps, assistant principal, brushes off over 3 inches of snow on his SUV. He looks ill-equipped. No gloves? What? Where is he from? Oh, Spokane. Friday's winter weather broke the daily record for maximum snowfall, according to the National Weather Service of Spokane. 7.1 inches of fell Friday. Boom! That's a big boom. As measured at the international airport, crushing the record of a measly 4.8 in 1963. Are we repeating a cycle? 1963 was back in cycle 20, which was the weakest since the cycle we're in now, so it makes sense that we're repeating a similar weather pattern. The record for the heaviest snowfall in any single day in Spokane still stands at 20. We're not in winter yet, you idiots. So we're breaking records in Spokane, and this blizzard that's coming next week, heads up, I'm going to make some big predictions. Snowfall ahead of normal pace in Traverse City. This is in Michigan. Snowfall has racked up some of the northern Michigans, surpassing the normal year-to-date accumulations. 23.7 inches have fallen to date, 4 inches above normal. And that does not happen when we're at peak global warming. You idiots. Extreme cold weather alert issued for Toronto. This is again and again. We're now 5 days out from the winter solstice. And an extreme cold weather alert for the city on Saturday will remain in place until further notice. Dr. Eileen Davila decided to issue the alert after temperatures were forecast to drop to -9°C by Saturday and then going down to -16°C overnight and into Sunday. The high may reach -5 tomorrow. Grand solar minimum much. Camden County, New Jersey, across the bridge from my stomping grounds, CBS, coming out of CBS Philly, there's a code blue alert. An Arctic cold front has settled over the region for days now, setting the stage for one last frigid night. And that's a heads up to the homeless. Now, these are people in India that don't even have clothes for cold weather. And at Keylong, it freezes at -7. The lowest temperature of -7 degrees Celsius. Even the maximum day could not rise above 4.1. All water sources in the district have frozen. These people can't drink water without boiling it. All water sources have frozen. Even the Chenab banks have started to freeze. So people are risking their lives to get out in the river to get water. Cosmic ray has been on the increase now for 7 days on all the Bartol monitors. And that results in atmospheric compression and record rainfall due to cloud nucleation, which increases during cosmic ray flux periods, which we're going into a 100-year period of cosmic ray flux, which is going to increase above levels that modern man has never existed in, which means flooding events that you've never seen, which continue to happen day in and day out. Massive mudslide hits Villa Santa Lucia in southern Chile, 33 dead and 15 missing. And more than 77,000 are evacuated as deadly tropical storm Orduja drops massive rain on the Philippines thanks to the increase in cosmic rays. Cosmic ray flux leads to increased muons, heating the magma in high silica-rich chambers. And you get an earthquake measuring 3.5 in Bárðarbunga. That's the latest update with the Iceland situation. It doesn't look like anything is imminent, but nothing is being quiet. The seismic uptick has gone down because the KP has gone up, thankfully. But we have this interesting tremor happening out in the Gulf of Mexico, which most people will be like, what's going on there? Now, there are rare earthquakes that strike the Gulf of Mexico. The largest was a 6.0 right here in the center. But there is lots of geologic data that you can peruse. And I'll leave you links to seismic activity in the Gulf of Mexico, a preliminary analysis. And we'll also leave you links to this USGS regional assessment of tsunami potential. Now, these earthquakes can be happening because of deep sea landslides that happen on these escarpments. We have the Campeche escarpment, the Florida escarpment, and the Sigsbee escarpment. Now, these shelves are where all the Clovis cultures were inundated during the Great Flood that the Bible talks about. The one that happened at the end of the last ice age where sea level rose 400 feet in this area. And this is where all the Clovis people were living. And they were completely inundated. But what happens in modern time is that these escarpments that had been buried, massive underwater landslides that are called turbidites in the rock record occur. And they cause massive displacement of water at the surface, which can cause tsunamis up to 12 feet. So I'll leave you links to this paper. If you live on the Gulf Coast, it's what you have to look forward to. Potentially a tsunami that has no warning. These are called silent tsunamis because you cannot detect a underwater landslide. It will show up as a small magnitude earthquake, and then you'll get a tsunami. Similar to the earthquake that we saw right here today. A 3.0 east-north, 100 kilometers east of South Padre Island in the Gulf of Mexico. So I'll leave you links to this paper. If you live on the Gulf Coast, I suggest you read it. An ancient biblical city was destroyed by earthquake 1,400 years ago, is found intact underwater. The footage in this article and this video is amazing. They have wood that's 1,400 years old that's in perfect, pristine condition. It is crazy. Oh, we just lost it. Okay. So I suggest you watch it because we're not going to be seeing it here. There's the wood right there. Boom. That's a big boom. Can you believe that's from 1,400 years ago? Looks like it's from my woodpile. And there's the satellite images. Clearly you can see a city there. Amazing. A haunted city in the middle of the ocean. Look at that. Look at these structures. Just amazing. Yeah, he's amazed. Boom! Guys, I'll leave you links to that. You have plenty of things. I just found this moments ago. It's very confusing. It comes from South Asia's leading multimedia news agency, ANI. And it's saying that 14,460 bunkers are to be constructed along the international border in New Delhi, in India. He thanked the Home Minister for issuing orders allocating central funds for constructing 13,029 individual bunkers with a capacity of 8 persons each and 1,431 community bunkers with a capacity of 40 persons each to begin now. What the is going on? Boom! My head exploded. Bunkers much? Look at this guy's little mustache. What are they doing with these bunkers? I'll let Dabu7 cover that. Guys, I did a video on the 6 plasma filament in 4 weeks that ejected from the sun. This one's unique because it's coming to Earth. Bada boom! It's coming to Earth on the solstice. The Mayan calendar, as above, so below. The plasma filament. 3,200 Phaethon. It's all happening, folks. It's coming. Boom! On the 20th or the 21st, we should get hit by this. Now, this is, and my prediction is that this will accentuate the blizzard that is forming in the Pacific currently that will hit the northwest coast on the 20th and move across the United States, blanketing the entire U.S. in a white Christmas. And that's a heads up. Ho, ho, ho. And that's my forecast. Ensure your greenhouses withstand the snow load. I'll leave you links to Michigan State University Extension's wonderful paper on all the things you need to do to protect your greenhouse in the winter. Now, we weren't able to get to our greenhouse last winter. 20 feet of snow above the peak crushed it. Now, had I been able to get up there and move the snow off the sides here, we would have been fine. But if you cannot get to your structure to remove the snow because it is too deep, they will collapse. That's why I suggest rigid greenhouses, and that's a big boom. Guys, I hope you got something out of the video. The world is changing. The 20th and the 21st is going to be interesting. We have a plasma filament coming that will send us into geomagnetic storm. It may put energy into the first blizzard of the century, which we'll name Blizzard Number 1 for the grand solar minimum. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, do so now. Share this with like-minded people. Start preparing now. We're going to be sharing greenhouse videos throughout the winter as we work on the internal structures of our first geothermal greenhouse design that we're going to be sharing with all of our Patreons. I want to say thank you to all the people supporting the channel. We love you. Keep up the good work. Peace out.